Here we are for day number 22 of our Believe 365 journey. It is January 22nd, 2018, and I need you to declare today that today is going to be the best day of your life. Even if you're like, really, Alana, are you serious? I need you to declare it anyway, because every day we're going higher and higher and higher and higher. So I have been just so amazed at what God is doing. I've been loving reading everything that has been happening in your lives and how fruitful and just how God is moving in your life. I know that He is moving in mine. And it's something about when you are intentional about being grateful and you're being thankful for what God is doing in your life, because then you begin to see His hand on your life, and things that you probably would not have paid attention to, you're starting to pay attention to. And when you're starting to focus on God, you don't, it's not like things don't happen in your life. It's not like you don't face issues and problems, but it doesn't take you out like it used to take you out, right? It's not like, my kids still can work my nerves and I still have issues. I still have life to deal with. But there's such a peace and there's a joy when I've switched my mind. I've switched the way that I think. And that is an amazing feeling. And that brings me right into this week's focus. Last week, we were focusing on developing habits and routines. And we're going to stay right there. But the important thing is when you are going after all that God has for you and you're raising your level of awareness to more of what He is saying for your life, and you're starting to change things daily or little by little as He's leading you. It's a process. And you have to remember that you're running the race that's before you. You have to run your race. You can't run someone else's race. And this is where I'm going to come from out of the Word of God is Hebrews 12. And I'm going to read it right here. It says, the race of faith. Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us. And let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. I want to say that again. And let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before Him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. We are created in God's image and His likeness. We have His power and His Spirit living on the inside of us if we have accepted and invited Him into our life. And He created us all with a specific purpose, with a specific calling, with our own personalities, our own likes, our own wants. We are all unique in our own way. There's not one carbon copy of any of us. So when we begin to develop habits and routines, it is so important that we do learn from others that have gone before us in every area of our life, even in developing a habit or routine. However, God has set a race before you. God has set a race for you. Why don't you say that? Say, God has set a race for me to run. And that is the beauty of really developing a relationship with Christ, because He will give you the guidance and the steps and the instruction to run your race. My race isn't your race. Your race is your race. And you have to have that communication and that fellowship with Christ to run your race. This is why it's so crucial to write your vision down, to write your personal mission down, because the race that is before you is like no other. Just think about this. God needs man, God needs humans, God needs us to get his work done in the earth. Why is that? I mean, people say, why is that? Because he's God. Because that's how God operates. He operates by principle and by law. And he did not create the earth for him to rule. He created the earth for us to rule, for man to rule. And so, therefore, because he is a God that is yes and amen, and he even abides by what he put in place, he cannot fully operate in this earth unless we say yes to what he wants to do in the earth. Therefore, he's given us all specific assignments. He's given us all specific purposes, and we must run our race. And that's even in how we are as mothers, wives, whatever capacity we're in. Run your race. This is why, if you have been attempting to do the personal mission statement plan that I have been pushing out there, I am going to come on tomorrow night. Actually, there's a link that I have above here that if you want to sit and talk about some of the ways that you can actually pull from getting a better understanding of what it is that you should write or think about, or how to really execute this so that it's really tailored to you and really something that you can focus on and it's personalized to you. I will be able to, and I'm making myself available to help you. And so I think this is so important that as we dive even more this week into being productive in the habits and the routines that we're developing, because we do need to have some habit and routine that is of God and that is organized in our life, because we need to be productive and we need to be consistent. We need to be disciplined. However, the way we're designed and wired, we're all unique. And it's important for us to learn our race and run it. So, I think that this is just going to be phenomenal. And this week, at the end of the week, we will be submitting our plans. Not, and this is really just saying, God, here it is. I'm giving this back to you, and I'm going to. It's really making a commitment before Him that this year is going to be a year like no other for us. This year is we're doing something different to really align ourselves with Him and His ways. Now, also, before I go, if any of you have not signed up for my 7-day mini morning challenge makeover, I really would encourage you to do that, because getting ourselves ready in the morning is one of the top areas that we can really begin to take control of our day, our attitude, our mood, our just our relationship with Christ. Is so great. And even in that, you can learn how to personalize that routine for you. So I love you all. And like I always tell you, that you are the number one indicator of how far you are going to go. If you can see yourself reaching every single thing that you desire and that God is aligning in your life, then guess what? I believe that you will reach it. So you have an amazing day. I love you, and I'll talk to you real soon.